Hi everyone, welcome to part 5 of the trainer tutorial. So what we're going to have a look at doing now, so there's a few things left to do. We've got to do the tongue, we've got to do the shoelaces, and we've got to do the sole, and then we'll texture it all. So what we're going to look at today is doing the tongue, because it should be relatively easy. So what we're going to do is jump back into the form tool. So we're going to go on the purple box at the top, create form. And then we want to create a plane up here. So it's either up here or go to create and plane. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into the top plane and just draw out roughly whereabouts it's going to go. So something like that. And then we'll up the numbers. Let's do 6, 8. Let's do 8. And we'll keep the width faces as 2. And hit OK. So then we're going to come back into our side view. We're going to turn our canvas back on, and we want the side view, so we've got an idea roughly about whereabouts it's going to go. It's going to come up, and then open up our bodies panel, right click and move, and we're just going to kind of move it into position roughly, zoom in and rotate it so it's roughly sort of like where we want it to be. And hit OK. And it is a good idea, just as I said before, keep going on finish form, you can just sort of see where everything is sort of in line with where it needs to be. Okay, so now we're going to start messing around with the shape of everything. So I'm going to turn back on our canvas. I'm going to go back down at the bottom, right click and go to edit. I'm going to right click and edit form. And what I'm going to do is, first of all, let's start grabbing the vertex, sort of move that up into position where we want it to be. And so if you haven't noticed before as well, if you drag to the click and drag left mouse button, click and drag to the right, it will just select what it's selected completely. Whereas if you do click left mouse button, click and go to the left, you get a wider selection. So if it touches anything, it will select all of it. So for this, I just want to do right drag. That's what I'm going to do, because that way I feel like I've got a little bit more control of it. But that is why sometimes you'll see you get a slightly different option when you start to drag. Okay, and then also I want to have a look and see how it starts to look. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back to edit form again. And this time I'm going to grab these edges. I'm going to bring them down. That's sort of curving inwards a little bit more. Makes it look a little bit more realistic. Maybe a little bit more. We'll see how it looks. Okay, that's not looking too bad. A little more tweaking. Let's click these two, and then let's bring those down a little bit. We are going to add some fillets as well to sort of make this look a little bit more realistic, but we can sort of tweak it as we're going along until we're happy, and then we'll thicken it up as well. This part here isn't really going to be seen much because it's like under like the toe cap part of the shoe, but doesn't hurt to have a little bit of a play around. Again, I'm just going to keep going to finish form so I can sort of see how it's looking. Okay, so we want to bring that up quite a bit actually, so let's do that. Edit. Let's try maybe there. to there. And we just don't want to have a massive gap from where our like lace holder parts are. But we do want it to be down a bit more. And then let's bring the whole thing up a little bit more again. So if I'm just clicking and then double clicking to just select that selection of rows and bring you up a bit more. Let's have a look. That looks a bit better, and then we'll just drag this bottom part in so it looks a little bit more realistic as well, so there's no gaps that we don't want. So let's bring that down a bit more. Then what we can even do is grab this vertex. Oh no, wrong button. Sometimes it is quite difficult to grab the right widget part, but then it kind of rounds it out a little bit. I think I do want to widen this a little bit actually, so let's widen from say there to there and do the same on the other side so it's symmetrical. Making sure I'm grabbing the right bit. Right click, edit form. Let's just widen that up a little bit so it's a bit better. Okay. I'd say actually, well, we need to come down a little bit because we're just coming out there. Then I think we're probably done with the overall sort of forming shape of it. Right, let's bring you down. What we don't want, obviously, is the tongue to be sticking out from the actual shoe itself. Okay. So maybe, do we want that tongue to stick any higher up out of the actual shoe itself? Let's put our canvas on. Yeah, maybe a little bit. So we'll do one more little tweak. Edit form, and then let's come to the side. Oh, to the side, not up there. Edit form, and then let's bring that up. And then just pull that back a little bit, just so again it has that sort of natural kind of curve to it. Okay, turn the cameras off, let's have a look. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. So what we're going to do now is let's thicken that. So we go over to surface, let's just go to create and thicken. Let's grab this and we'll do minus, so it's thickening backward rather than forward. Because I put it in now, and as if I put in like 4 mil. Well, actually, no, we don't want to. We're going to go minus. So let's do like -4. So rather than going forward, it's going to go backwards and thicken up, which is what we want. That way, it's not going to interact. Because the reason I didn't want to do positive is when I start to do the laces, it'll start to combine the laces will sort of overlap it and it'll look really, really odd. So let's click on OK. And now I should have another body in there. So that's my tongue. I have got the surface there, which I now no longer need. I won't remove it just yet. We'll keep it there for now, just in case I want to tweak anything. Okay, so we've got the body of our shoe, our tongue shoe. Let's just fillet some edges to make it look a little bit more rounded. Well, that's not the one I want first. I want this edge and this edge. Let's just bring that in about there, and then let's fillet that edge and that edge, bring it in. And then wait a second so my computer doesn't crash. Are we going to crash? No, we're not. Okay. Are we crashing? No, we're not. Done. Okay, perfect. So yeah, I'd say that is our tongue sort of shape done while we are here. And you see I've got a little bit of clipping here, so I'll bring that down a little bit. So in fact, what we'll do, let's grab this body now, move copy. Let's just bring it down just. There you go. So I've not got that clipping part of it. Okay, so just while we're doing this, let's just do the little, I don't know what you would call them, the hoops, basically. Let's do those while we're here as well. So let's go back to our form tool. And for this, let's create a sketch, do it on this plane. And what we'll do is let's use a fit point spline. I'll just sort of roughly follow this as a reference. So with the fit point spline, you want to do as fewer points as you can do. And then let's offset, bring that in. Hit OK, and then let's just join those up. And do the same here. Let's just join those up. And finish sketch. And then let's just extrude that. So let's go to extrude. And then what will happen if we do symmetric? I just want to drag that out a little bit. Oh no, okay, what have I done wrong there? Why did you just do that? Let's try that again. Extrude. Okay. That's on the profile. Okay, extrude. There we go, that's better. I'm not entirely sure what I did there. Okay, then let's decide how big we want it. We don't want it massive. Okay. We'll finish form. I'm going to bring that down a little bit. Let's go to edit form. I want to make sure I've got them both. So let's zoom right in. Let's drag that. There we go. And just tweak that a little bit. Let's bring it. There we go. Hit OK. Finish form. All right. So let's just turn our canvas off. And then let's go to surface. Let's patch. Okay. And then let's patch this side as well. Patch. And then let's stitch those together. So I want to stitch you and you. Will it let me do that at the same time? Yes, it will. Okay, so that is now one body. Then let's fillet that as well, give it a little bit more of a roundness to it. Okay, how far can I go? That's too far. Let's get rid of, okay, let's try that again. Let's go to fillet and let's just grab the edges rather than the surface. Okay, start high. Okay, that's not good. Lower 1.5. No, 1.2. No, 1. Sort of like that. It's okay. Let's just fill it the bottom as well. Bring that up. So now we've sort of got like our fabricy tag. Let's turn back our canvas. And then let's move that body. And then let's make sure we put it in the middle as well. Obviously it needs to be touching both parts of the tongue. Doesn't matter if it overlaps, as long as it doesn't peek through it. So you see there it's starting to peek through a little bit. We don't want that. So let's bring it back a little bit. Check it's touching all over. Hit OK. Take our canvas off. Okay, and then we need to have another one on the back as well. So we'll just take that whole body. Let's see, and then paste, and then let's move it over here. Let's rotate it around 180. Move it into position. And we're going to shrink this down as well a little bit. We don't want it to be the same size. So let's do that now. So we're going to go to modify scale. Let's grab this body. Half size. 0.7. Looks about right. And then let's continue moving it into position. So maybe rotate it a little bit on, maybe not. Let's turn off our canvas. Okay, so I'd say that is our shoelace, our tongue finished, and there's little other details. So we'll stop that video there, and then next one we'll have a look at doing the shoelaces.